Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. Before we move forward, let's cue that in. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and welcome back to that transfer review show. Hope you guys are all having a great day going into the weekend. Alex, the Euro expert, is with us today. Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Alex, the Euro expert. It's been a while since I've heard that. Hello, Velv in the comments. It's been a while since we've chatted, GNA family. I'm hoping for Josh to come in, my favourite man in the world ever. Yeah. Got Nicola in as well. Big up, Nicola. But yeah, I'm doing good. Just been doing lots of football things. Really took a few weeks off because I was burned out. Now, Jem, I have to tell you, I'm back into it. I've been watching the Russian Premier League. I'm getting all the way back into the European football.
So how comes Russian? Well, what's the whole thing with Russian Premier League?
Because it's the only one that's on, really. Oh no! In fairness, right? You know what? It's 7 viewers. It's early on. Fuck it. I've only got 30 seconds to talk about it. There is a guy, Aryan Zabaran, 18-year-old Russian, right? He is going to be the next big thing. I'm telling you. His idol is Andrei Arshavin. And in fairness, he scored like 6 goals last season at the age of 17. And everyone in Russia fucking loves him. So keep an eye on him.
There you go. Look, there's the 8 of you 0 at the moment. Make sure that you smash the like button. Subscribe to GNA TV. We are on the road to 2K. We're about 300 and something, 20 or 30 odd short from that. And please share on all your socials as well. Let's let people know that we're live. It's a little bit different today, guys. I know in the last 3 or 4 streams, it was all about Chelsea and our transfers. We will be talking Chelsea, so please stay tuned with that as well. But it's a bit more of an overview, and Alex is going to break it down with you. If you've got any questions in the chat that you want to ask in regards to transfer news, ask him as well.
And I've got the questions to the people as well. I've got Velvin saying "fuck FSG." I'm curious to hear more from Velv. I hope you stick around because, and the United fans as well. I feel like I've been watching different leagues. I want to hear from the fans what people are actually thinking. Right, I've got Mustafa in saying if United sign and DD 21 coming. I was like, I want to hear what the fans are saying. I think as you said, a lot of stuff's been on Chelsea. I've got a lot to say about Chelsea selling Zuma and Koundé.
Koundé's I don't know if you've seen how excited I've been about Koundé. Anyway, Koundé's a player that someone I rate quite highly, and I think he's going to be a top player for Chelsea. But Nicola's asked me already, is there any more news on Koundé deal? All I can tell you guys is that he's happy to join Chelsea. It's more of not a Chelsea, more of a Koundé to Chelsea thing. It's more the structure of what Seville want from Chelsea. Obviously, Zuma was originally offered, and now it looks like Zuma may have declined wanting to go to Seville. Hence why West Ham have come in with this late bid. So it's maybe Chelsea trying to negotiate funds because they might want funds only, but there's also other options in terms of players. Malang Sarr, Zappacosta, Bakayoko. There's a couple of players that have also been put forward to Seville. So I think that you'll see this will be done sooner rather than later. Whether it's over the weekend, I'm not too sure. But just watch out for that Fabrizio comment is what I would say to that. But yeah, Alex, do you want to crack on with what you want to do?
Oh, I want to ask first. Did you read that online or was that your own sources? Because the way you worded that, you was like, the things I've heard here, guys. I thought for a minute there before you had Chelsea links. I was impressed.
No, I talk to people offline, on socials. Some people being journalists, some people that have given me some little bits of info here and there. But the Koundé thing, I think, is very clear. It came out of the blue in the first place anyway. The fact that Chelsea have allowed that to be announced tells me that it's only a matter of time that gets done. I don't see it falling through in any way whatsoever. But what's your thoughts, Alex?
Yeah, if Koundé comes to Chelsea, it'll be it's an interesting move. But I want to hold off Chelsea because I feel like the Chelsea fans have come in the comments right now. Right, they're talking about Velvet. The guys talk about Liverpool. Yeah, what's he saying? I'll click the comment up. When it's me and Jem on it, we tend to click on each other's comments. So about Sal Doku Vlahovic, it's the 3 players we need to sign, but FSG will sign no one. And everyone's saying what's happening. So what Liverpool, right? I'm very curious because all the teams, including Chelsea now, they're all making the big moves. I'd love to hear more from the guys in the comments. What is going on with Liverpool? Because they've genuinely done nothing, right? And the big thing is around Henderson. I think Liverpool should sell Henderson, personally. I think you get a lot of money for him. Who should Liverpool sign? Because he mentioned Vlahovic and Saul and Doku. I don't think you're getting Doku, Velv. I don't think you're going to get him. I think you should try and go for... Marlon would have been perfect. Madueke would have been good as well.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. There's quite a bit going on about sort of things about Zuma at West Ham. Jim, do you want to start there? Because it's a good blend of Chelsea and another thing. How do you feel about losing Zuma?
I think in terms of where we're going with it as a football club, and obviously Zuma, for me, doesn't really fit what Tuchel wants system-wise. So I feel like we're going to probably stick to the three at the back. I feel like he's very unfavoured at the moment, and it makes a lot of sense why, you know, we wouldn't want him, or he wouldn't want to be there as well. And look, he goes, Koundé comes in. I'm not moaning. You know, Zuma is a fan favourite. He's someone that's been a favourite of Chelsea fans for a very long time. He lacks the distribution element, being able to play out from the back, which is something that Tuchel systems, you know, demand massively. So, if you know, at the end of the day, we're bringing someone in we'll get into him later, but it's very good at doing something. Then Zuma's not that great at doing. So yeah, I get why Chelsea let him go.
We're definitely gonna this stream's gonna be spicy, people, because I'm about to go in on Zuma. Not go in, but I think Chelsea selling him is brilliant business because before I go into it, I want to start off for you, Jem. Right, so Zuma, I feel sure we can agree, right? How many other players in the Premier League, not defenders, are as good or if not better than him at scoring from a corner or score with their head in the air? How many players? I can't think of any.
Van Dijk.
Yeah. And even scoring, I don't think Van Dijk's as prolific. Zuma is probably the best player in the Premier League scoring from headers.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, why is Thomas Tuchel giving that up? Because on paper, if you've got that advantage, you'd play him every game because that's a potential extra goal coming your way. There would be a reason why he's not starting over Rudiger and Astrid or a Christensen. I think the reason for that is he ball watches all the time. I think there's Amor in the comments asked, I've had it pinned up for a while. Zuma to West Ham, what's going on? As a West Ham fan, I'm excitedly want to come to West Ham rather than Sevilla. I agree. I'd be excited that Zuma would want to go to West Ham. But, you know, that shows a lot about the reputation. But I think West Ham could do much better. I don't think... some people said that Zuma's Prem-proven. I think he's Prem-proven bad, you know. I just don't... I don't see it. There's a super chat here as well.
I think it's slightly harsh, to be honest. But yeah,
maybe it's slightly harsh.
Let's get the super chat.
Go on, yeah. Big up, Gemini. It's got something. Exhausted with the Chelsea FC transfer window. Haaland stories have tired me out. Love your show and love your stamina. Big up. Thank you for the donation.
Bobby as well. Thank you, Bobby, mate. Appreciate it, man.
Well, the honest thing, maybe it was a little harsh. I did just do a show on the West Ham way about Zuma, and it's not necessarily that I'm not about to say he's not Premier League standard, right? So maybe Prem-proven ban is a bit thick, but there has been continuous times this season where I think there's a good Twitter comment going around about it, where a player will run through on goal, every other defender will charge back, Zuma will stand still and just watch him shoot. And then maybe the goalkeeper will save it as a rebound coming up. If Zuma will be running back, he might be able to clear it, but he stood there ball watching. So I just think West Ham could potentially do a lot better for than Zuma in terms of the value, because 25 to 30 million, I'm not saying that Zuma isn't worth that, but if you could get a Milenkovic, or even if you could loan in a Tuanzebe or an Ampadu, I think you're better placed than committing that money to Kurt Zuma.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I get it, and like I said, I think it's a deal that works for Chelsea, massively works for Chelsea moving forward. So we're bringing in someone that's, for me, one of the best in the world, youngsters. I'm talking about best youngsters in the world in terms of how he plays. It suits Chelsea as well. But Zuma will go. He'll go Everton. He'll go West Ham, and he'll do a job there, and he will start. You know, he. I think you're slightly harsh on him. I think he's a good defender. I just don't think he's he's a defender that can adapt to different systems. If you're playing a four at the back, he needs someone next to him that's a bit of a leader. He's not a leader in himself, so I think he needs someone to sort of help him.
I guess my simplistic view of it would be, I think naturally he's a good defender in terms of, I think physically he's brilliant. As we mentioned, if I'm building a team in Europe, I can't think of any other. Someone, the genius just mentioned here, Maguire for headers. I think Maguire is a good for headers, but the way Zuma attacks the ball in the box, given his goals and limited appearance as well, I think Zuma is brilliant.
Yeah,
he's amazing. It's just, I think what he needs is a fantastic defensive coach to err out some errors from his game, because in 26 he needs to get rid of that. And I think if he wants, someone mentioned, I don't think he's a top 6 player. I think to become a top 6 player or to really elevate West Ham, Moyes needs to do a lot with him. People, Anmar says that Ogbon or Zoom would be a good partnership as a West Ham fan. My preference would much rather be Milenkovic, and that's kind of why I agree. I mean, we won't go too much into Milenkovic, but Jem, let me tell you, he's a centre-back for Fiorentina, and the thing to remember about him is that by the stats in terms of players trying to dribble past him, there was no one better in Serie A, stats-wise, at tackling than Milenkovic.
Wow.
He was best player in Serie A. So he's around about the same price, 23-year-old.
Yeah,
I'd rather take him. But you mentioned Koundé. So you said very excited. Where do you see him playing?
Right centre back.
Yeah, agreed.
I think he brings versatility. I think he can play as a centre back. I think he can play as a left centre back. I actually think he can sit in DM. You'd be able to confirm that more so. I think he's got the ability to be able to progress with the ball. He's comfortable with the ball at his feet. I actually think he's better distributor than a lot of the guys we have already, to be honest. And I know Christensen, Rudiger, Silva, they're all very good with the ball at their feet, but I just think he's a level up in that aspect as well. Like he's a top player. I think the only thing people moan about is height and his frame, which is nonsense.
Because let me crush the height thing. People are moaning like you can't bring Koundé to Chelsea because his height's poor. Like if you play him at right centre back, it won't be good enough. You've already got Azpilicueta, who's 5'10" at right centre back.
I've said this. Yeah,
it's literally the exact same. So Koundé, is spot on. I think to go, you kind of inferred there to try and give a bit more info. Koundé, right centre back. I think what makes sense is, as I said, he's one of the top progressors in La Liga last season. In fact, I think only 9 other players in La Liga put the ball into the final third more than him. So very, very good at moving the ball up the pitch. And I think the thing with Koundé is that he brings a progression of a Christensen, but he's also, he kind of combines that with what Tuchel did with Reece James in the FA Cup final. Like he's got such good recovery pace that he can track back, and he's the torrent away from balls in behind. So he protects Chelsea very, very well.
Look, and this is the thing, and people keep picking out certain players from Premier League teams. I got told, because people say, the Burnleys, the West Hams, they will give the Koundés the problem. Number one, Chelsea are a possession-based team, which means they keep the ball a lot, which means they still got to try and get the ball off us to be effective, which is hard for teams to do against Tuchel because we keep the ball very well. I think, secondly, that the system that we play suits defenders that are good with the ball at their feet and being able to bring it out and play games, because we always play from the back and move forward in that aspect as well. So I think he's massively, I don't think he's what they call his weaknesses is supposedly his height is as a big thing as people thinks it is. And should not just that, the Premier League as a rule has moved on. It's not back in the 90s where it was just kick the ball up near and header it on. There's not, right, you have the individual teams like Burnley that will do that because that's their strengths. But teams these days want to play from the back. They want to move forward with the ball. It's all possession based. It's all on the floor. They want to play they want to play football is what I'm trying to get at. So I don't think people are we're going to see too much of Koundé struggling in the league. But
I think that'll be a nice pivot actually, because Vel's put in the chat, he said, rank the French centre-backs in the league from the top 6, including Koundé. This would be a good pivot because this is where I'd rank it. I think Varane's now top, quite clearly. I think. Why? Oh, you doubt this move, don't you?
I want to know why you think is it just because of what he's done or who he is?
No, it's because Varane is essentially what Koundé is likely to be in the future. He's an exceptionally quick centre-back, a very good reader of the ball. And he has played to the highest level. If obviously the trophies play a part, but, anyone can win trophies. As long as you're a part of a team that's winning them, it's fair enough.
I think Varane's better than Koundé at the moment, but I just don't think you can compare the two because they're both in different phases of it. He's 22.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
yeah.
Koundé, yeah. I'm saying Varane is a quality that I think Koundé can aspire to be and will end up being. But I think right now Varane is maybe the best centre-back, or not the best because you've got Van Dijk, I'd say. I think Varane is a little behind. Jem said Varane is Christensen with pace. Jem, that is slander. Actually, no, it's not. No, because Christensen's great. Yeah, actually, yeah, no, that's good. Yeah,
when you think about it,
two top quality centre backs. I'll give you that. I'll pivot that. Nice. With Varane and Maguire, I wanted to ask you this because you're the Chelsea fan now, and we've got people in the chat as well. Maguire and Varane is a defensive partnership. What other partnerships in the league are better, or what defensive trios are better?
Ours.
You think yours is better?
Silva, Rudiger, and Koundé.
Is it?
Or Christensen, or Aspie. Look at the options we got. Let me ask you something, right? What happens if Varane gets injured? Because the levels from all right, which is very good. I think Varane and Maguire's a top combination, but they drop. Chelsea lose Thiago Silva. They've got Christensen that come in. Chelsea lose Rudiger. Koundé can play there. Aspie plays right centre back. Like we have more versatility in our defence. I think we have the overall better defence because we've got more strength in depth. And I think the players that we have are at a level. As with Man United, they're going to be relying on Varane, who we know is injury prone. Let's be serious. He gets injured quite a bit. And Maguire, who he's a good defender anyway. But there's 22 people here. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. What are your thoughts on this, people? What Velv said here. Rank the French centre-backs in the league from the top 6, including Koundé. In what order did you put him in? Put him in the chat now and let us know.
Or even put in the top 6 in order of the best defensives. And meanwhile, you saw me look to my computer. I'm going to currently fact check Jem about the injury history. Just want to, just to elevate your point. He's had 3 injuries since August 2019, and one of them was coronavirus, and the other was a knock. So I'd like to debunk your point there.
No, but how long was it? It doesn't. How long was his injury? Well, his injury could have been a long-term one. One of them was long-term. Hit him out for ages.
No, he missed 17 days.
He's only missed 17 days. So since 2019, he's only had 3 injuries.
Since August 2019. 17. He's missed 3 injuries. You take away COVID. There was a knock in there, so it's 23 days. He missed 5 games since August 2019 in all competitions as well. It was 16-17. He had a lot of injuries, muscular problems, Achilles, but he's clearly shown since then he's up there. And to me, I'll tell you what, I think the best partnership I agree with you. Depth, I think Chelsea have the best defence. Best partnership in the league is Maguire and Varane. I think Maguire is one of those underrated defenders. I think he's brilliant. I think he's memeable, and that's his issue. He's very easy to laugh at because he's big, he's clunky, and he's got a massive head. But he's actually fantastic. So I'd say Varane and Maguire, the best partnership. But I guess the defence as well, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, maybe not the best going forward in terms of Wan-Bissaka, but I would take that, just those front 4, over any other defence in the top 6.
Varane, Fofana, Konate, Koundé, Sarr, Zuma.
You're not ranking Fofana.
Where's Upamecano in there? Is he not get a chance?
Well, he's not in the Premier League.
Oh right, is it just Premier League?
I think that's what he said. Yeah.
Oh right, okay, cool, fair enough. I thought he was talking about it overall. I would say
Fofana, get him out.
Yeah, I'd say Varane, Koundé, Konate.
Wait, has he got Malang Sarr in there?
Yeah, he's got. I don't know.
He hasn't played for Chelsea yet.
He's confused me with that. Actually, look at that. Fofana is high because he's high because he's what he's done in the Prem. He's
had one season where he was above average for a 19-year-old. But no, you've ranked him over your own signing Konate. Yeah, and Laporte. Don't forget Laporte. Thank you, Brody. Bergstad. I think I've pronounced your name there. Yeah. What other transfers have people got on a high horse about?
We could let's talk about the potentials of Jack Grealish going to Man City. What's the benefits of that? Because it seems
Sorry,
like it's picking up speed.
I pulled a face there. For some reason, my brain registered that as Jack Wilshere, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" Jack Grealish, yeah. Jack Grealish to Man City should be illegal in my opinion. It's too good because basically, well, I'll read off a couple of stats, as I do. Last season in the Premier League, there's a thing called shot creating actions, which you might have heard about a bit, guys. Basically, what that is like a pass or a dribble before a shot, like a key pass, or before someone else. Think of it, the assist to the assist. Yeah. Now, the player top of the Premier League for that was Kevin De Bruyne. Second was Jack Grealish. Now, that's very, very good. But the thing that makes me extremely excited and scared of Manchester City is because last season in Europe, Grealish played, 25 league games overall, right? But in Europe, based off league games, no one completed more dribbles into the penalty box. Not Lionel Messi, not Neymar, not Mbappe.
I get that.
No one.
But is he not? We know how good he is. That's not the issue here. Is he the right injuries. Profile of player for Man City?
Oh, no, I think he's perfect for City. The thing that worries me is so when I rated this transfer on my TikTok, which you follow, by the way, at EuroExpert, I rated this transfer a 9 out of 10 because I think the thing that stops it being a 10 out of 10 is the injuries. I think he'd be the perfect fit for City, to be honest, because the thing, I get where you're coming from in terms of Pep requires a certain type of player, right? But I think that was when Mahrez arrived, who was that individual tricky player, I think Pep kind of proved that he can take players on.
But he likes to play off the left side. Sterling's there. Foden can play there as well. So where
the rumours are that Sterling's out. He's straight after even before the Champions League final, the consistent rumours were, I want to leave, I want to leave, I want to leave, I want to leave. Everything coming out of the City camp saying they're happy to let Sterling go, and Sterling's very happy to leave. So Sterling could be on the move. I think the only reason he hasn't is because Madrid and Barcelona haven't really got the money for it.
Interesting. I just think they need a Harry Kane. They need a high-profile striker, Man City. It's something that it's a bit like Chelsea, with Haaland. And we will talk about Haaland a bit later because I think it's worth talking about. But I think they need to go and get themselves a Harry Kane to completely elevate them to. I know they won it last season without an out-and-out striker, but I just feel like you still need that clinical goal scorer, especially in the game today. And Harry Kane's one of them, Yeah.
I think they could do a Harry Kane or a Lukaku. I think both of them would be very good. The issue is for City, they've missed their chance to win the Champions League now because next year it's going to be so much harder. You've got PSG who have strengthened massively. You've got Barca who, if they get to register their players, they're very, very, very good. Yeah. And then you've got teams like United and Chelsea will do damage again in the competition. So I'm a little bit. I think City have missed a little bit of a boat. What are people saying in the chat about it though? If Grealish comes, they have too much creators. I get that as well. They'll have lots of players fighting for about 3 positions. That's a good point too. Unless Pep plays like a 4-2-4, which would be fun.
True, I get that. I think they've got too much in terms of creator. I think they're going to have to let some go, really. If Bernardo Silva, I think they'll keep Mahrez, Sterling and Foden will be, and I think they've got to let someone go. They've also got, what's his name as well? Spanish guy that plays as well.
Ferran Torres.
Ferran Torres, that's also another. It's why I just don't really. I get why they'd sign him. He's a top player. He's quality. He would get in anyone's team, but I just don't get how he improves them that much when you look at what they've got. He's not really an out-and-out goal scorer, is he? He's someone that creates. He's someone that attracts players, creates space for people to run into. Because that's a great ability in its own. But they still need to solve that striker issue. I don't think Jesus is going to be the answer to their questions.
Fair enough. There's a growing chat actually right now about Man United being title favourites because Mustafa just said, "Are United title challengers?" They signed a top CDM, and Chelsea fan, good name, said Man City and Man United will challenge this season. Jem, go to you. Do you think United are title challengers?
I still think we have to wait till the end of the transfer window. I just think there's still too much that needs to go on. It's hard to say now. If you look at it as of now, I think you would probably say that Man United are well equipped to challenge for the league next season. I don't think they have any excuses anymore. They've got Cavani that is still, all right, he's old, but still banging in goals and he's doing really well. They've just brought in Sancho, who I think is going to wreck up the Premier League. He should do anyway. I think he's that good. Rashford, I know he's injured when he's back. Bruno Fernandes, who's been a revelation at Man United. And the big key is whether they keep Paul Pogba. And I got a feeling they will do. I think Paul Pogba will stay going into next season, and that will elevate him. With Varane and Maguire at the back and De Gea in goal, you have no excuses, do you? When you look at that first 11, it's a top squad. But then if Chelsea go and get a Haaland and a Man City get a Harry Kane, I still think they'll give it a go. But I just think that that one of them two teams are expected to go and win with that.
You've mentioned a player which will move this nicely along this topic. Pogba. I disagree with what you were implying there in terms of I think Pogba will stay. I was discussing this with Chris Hamill of Football Daily, who's a very good friend of mine. I think, and we're thinking, Pogba, I'd rather sell him. I'd rather get him out and bring in a DM, like the chat is saying, an Ndidi or a Camavinga long term than someone else. Yeah. I think Pogba, I think it's actually better to sell him because not down his quality. In the Euros, my God, if France hadn't flunked out, he would have been player of the tournament quite easily. Yeah. But with Pogba, he doesn't fit into that team. Let's think he's going to play off the left at first, isn't he? He's going to play at left wing with Rashford out. That's not the one you want. I would sell Paul Pogba. I don't know what you think about that. Do you disagree?
I think if I'm Paul Pogba, I haven't had the greatest times at Man United. He's had individual moments that have excelled, that have excelled him, and he's an important player for them. On his day, he's one of the best in the world, I think, personally.
He's in the paper every week getting criticised.
He is, but at the same time, this is the thing that Paul Pogba's been waiting for a very long time, which is the Glazers back in a manager and bringing in top players to allow them to compete. Now, if I'm Paul Pogba, I'm thinking to myself, PSG want him, but I don't think Pogba wants PSG that much. He's always dreamed of playing for Real Madrid, but Real Madrid are not in a position to do so at the moment. So why not just hold out for one more season, play with the Sanchos, the Varanes, maybe try and have a go at winning the Premier League with a stronger team, which they will have going into next season. And then next season, if you want to move on, to the Real Madrids and whatever, potentially they might be better equipped to maybe approach and inquire. That's what I would. If I was Paul Pogba, that's what I would do, because it's a good squad that they've got. It's a really good squad. So I think it's going to be. I know I get what you mean in terms of the paper talk and the character of that he is always for him finding himself in there and that. But I think Paul Pogba as an individual attracts more attention than others do anyway. He could do the littlest thing and it's like, oh, Pogba done it. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that's because it's who it is. Do you know what I mean? But he's a top player.
With Pogba, I do think there is an element which I think could drag him to PSG is that long term, and I think in about 3 years when Pochettino eventually moves on from PSG, not to say that he won't do well. I think he might win everything there and he'll be there for a few years. I think Zidane's the next logical step, and I think that's the man Pogba wants to learn under. And I think the things I've been reading is he is very tempted by the allure of going back to Paris and going back home, which he hasn't really been there since he was about 15, since he moved to United in the first place. Yeah. So I think Pogba, there is something that could drag him back there, but I do get where you're coming from. It is the first time United have backed the manager. My question is really kind of a separate thing, I guess. If Ollie is the man to do this, I mean, it's not to say that I don't think he can win the league with United at a full strength United. I think it's more we haven't seen anything to suggest. Like, if you're a title-winning team, you're not bringing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. Like, you're just not. So,
yeah.
But equally, you're not, like, immediately writing him off. He's just not really so much.
The only thing that fails that team is the manager, and that's yet to be seen, isn't it, really? So, he might do well with it. Who knows? You've only got to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he don't, and they don't, say they struggle to get top four, the fingers would just be pointed at the manager anyway. He's the one that's going to get the rift of it. It's not going to be the players, I think, personally. So you have to see what happens. But there's still 25 of you here. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're 4 away from 30 likes already. So make sure you get us to 30 likes, people. Big up to Gigi, who's in the house. It's nice seeing her. I haven't seen her in a while. She's a Man City fan, by the way. You just missed the Man City talk. We will be putting the link in the chat, guys. So stay tuned. The link will be in the chat. You can come and get involved. Ask Euro Expert, me some questions about transfers, about your club. We're talking predominantly about the top 6 in the Premier League at the moment. So we're going through them as we are at the moment. And then, like we said, we're opening it up. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat. And the link will be with you guys very, very, very soon. I mean, other than that, I don't think Man United, because there was talks about Man United not being able to compete because they haven't got a DM. Like, what's your thoughts on that, Alex? Even with the signings that they've made, do you think they can still do it with a Fred and McTominay in the middle?
No, I know Anton hate that, but I think bringing in Ndidi would really make it a big thing. But to hold that moment, because I've been reading in the chat, they're actually saying Man United need a right back. I mean, Velv's going on at AWB. I think a couple other guys with Man United banter saying like Trippier could come in. Do you think United, like, just to pause the DM thing, do you think United need another right back? I mean, they've got Tellers at backup at left back, and that's what's shown it's done to Luke Shaw. Maybe I did really like the Trippier move to United, but do you reckon they need another right back before a DM?
I think a DM's more important. I think potential backup for AWB is good. I get why they'd want Trippier, for example. I think he starts over AWB if he comes in. I think he offers more going both ways, and I get why they would still look in that position. But I just think the DM thing's a bit of I mean, Fred, for example, is a decent midfielder. I know it adds backstage anyway. He's a decent midfielder. He's a decent midfielder. However, the problem that Fred's got is who's next to him as well, because Fred's never going to be world class. He just isn't. He does a job. He's good at what he can do, but he hasn't got anyone next to him that can maybe help elevate the levels or help Man United progress moving forward. And one of the problems that Man United had last season was they'd pick the ball up in midfield, and the distribution into the final third to the players in the final third used to get cut out quite easily. So they need someone that can actually, like maybe a Neves, because there was talks about Neves. You're saying we could maybe talk about.
My problem's more that even whatever you think of Fred and McTominay, it's what's behind them that's the issue. If one of them gets injured, then you're stuck a bit more because, well, the reason Fred and McTominay are playing right is because Ollie wants a bit more of a defensive pivot. So that's the reason Donny van de Beek doesn't play. There's no real replacement for McTominay and Fred. Are you willing to counter that since you've joined?
You know what? A lot of people would expect me to just say no, because it's just Fred. But no, I want a DM. I do want a DM. I really do, because it's not that I don't rate Fred, Van der Beek, McTominay. I don't rate McTominay, but I do rate the rest of our midfielders. I think we need a DM, because there's so much more we could do. There's so much more we could do with the players that we currently have. We could stick that DM next to one of the players that we currently have, mix that player around. FA Cup games, Carabao Cup games, 2 players in our team already could play. There's so much more we could do. And people think, it's just a disrespect towards our players and their quality right now. But no, we need a DM because that midfield is not going to be solidified for a whole season.
Yeah,
it just really isn't.
To interject as well, right now, with Fred and McTominay together, they're a good defensive partnership, but you wouldn't trust either of them. I think you'd even said, like, Fred isn't a lone DM. He's not like Jorginho or Kante who could sit at the base of the midfield, right? So you need bringing in Ndidi would allow you to say, okay, if I'm playing, I could go to a 4-3-3, Ndidi at the base, Fred and Pogba or Van der Beek in midfield, or Bruno in midfield. Or then you're going against a deeper team, you could put Ndidi at the base of midfield and then Bruno and Van der Beek in midfield in front of them. So yeah, I'm with you. I think it allows you to do a lot more having a DM there.
I agree.
Ads, do you think that Man United can compete for the title? I mean, looking at the squad that you got, do you think you're in a position to compete now for the title?
I think that it's going to take a lot for us to actually win the league in any time soon, because we need a DM. And a lot of people say, oh no, one position can just be filled and that's it. No, it takes so much more than that. You need to get a DM in, see who they work with best during pre-season, and then you start the season off. That's why I think we should have bought a DM first, so we get to see what we're working with. And sadly, we haven't done that. And the more we just continue not to get one, the more Fred's going to get hate by the fan base, more McTominay's going to get hate, Pogba's going to get hate. And the person that we do bring in eventually is going to be looked at and have a lot of weight on his shoulders. And that's mainly because of the delay. And it shouldn't be like that. We should have a DM right now. And with the rest of the players that we currently brought in, we've bought Varane, we've bought Jadon Sancho, and we're already planning to bring a right back in. I would be happy if Kieran came in a right back. However, I'd rather have a DM. I want Ndidi. I want a Basuma, but that's just not going to happen. And sadly, if that doesn't happen, there's only one partnership for me that I'd use, and that's Pogba and Fred, because we've seen that partnership work time and time again. And I know that they're not defensive players. Fred is a good player, but he's not a DM. That comes a disgrace. But all I'm saying is we need to work around what we have right now, and I think Pogba and Fred are the best partnership to move forward.
Well, no, he just said it. He said Fred the Red is good enough. That's what he said.
Oh, all right, cool. Sorry.
He's so used to people slagging Fred off. No, but people, there's nearly 35 of you here. Let's get to 40 likes. Smash the like button. Let's get to 40. If you're new to GNA TV, subscribe as well. We're going to be doing a lot more content for yourselves coming your way. But Alex, we spoke at Liverpool because I feel like Velv is waiting for us to just quickly talk a little bit about them because they're not doing much anyway. But obviously,
we can speak on Liverpool. In about 30 seconds, they're going to currently rebel against the top 6 because Tadia said any Burnley news and Nathan Collins, the centre back they've signed, guys. You watch out for him. 21-year-old from Stoke, one of the best defenders in the Championship, an Irish guy. You should watch out for Nathan Collins at Burnley because they've got the next Tarkowski. Right, now let's go to boring Liverpool here. Hello, Velv. Who's the perfect Gini Wijnaldum replacement for Liverpool? This question I get a lot, actually, Velv. I'd be interested to hear what people in the chat think because I've got my own opinions. Look, I think the options really are Saul Niguez, Renato Sanchez. Then there's, I guess I've seen a few ones. I saw some Liverpool bids as well, not for Wijnaldum, but saw some rumours that are very interested in Jared Bowen from West Ham. But what do you, Neuhaus as well? Ristic Meda just said as well, Neuhaus. I mean, what's your guys? I'm guessing you guys don't get to watch a lot of the players I'm mentioning here. Off the top of your head, Sans and Jem, who are you thinking Liverpool will bring in or should bring in?
Basuma.
Basuma is a good one.
I think Basuma would suit Liverpool and how they play. He's very box to box. I think Klopp wants players that have a bit of an engine, that work hard in these systems. I think Basuma gives you that. I think he can cover quite well. Other than Basuma, maybe a Kamara from Marseille, but that's more of a DM, isn't it? He's more of a DM sitter, more of a sitter. I don't know. I mean, I'd say even Tchouameni. I haven't watched too much of Tchouameni, but I know Tchouameni is very highly sort of touted as well. And again, I don't know whether it's just a sort of profile that would suit Liverpool. If I was to choose, I would probably say maybe what you just said there, an OR or a Basuma is what I would look.
I don't think they get we can go into Arsenal about OR. I've got so much to say. I've so much to say. Kessie is an interesting one. I was actually just thinking this. Ads might not like it because at one point he looks at Jordan. Right now, there's one certain little French midfielder. He reminded me of Tchouameni. There's another French midfielder who reportedly is going to be sold this summer, and as Real Madrid can't afford him, I think Liverpool should go in for Camavinga. It looks like United.
Fair enough.
Yeah, United have quietened down on him, which I think they should have got. I think United should get him. Liverpool, if you want a Wijnaldum replacement, you kind of want a box-to-box player who's really good at everything. I think Camavinga would be brilliant. I would love to. Liverpool fans in the comments, would you be happy with that? I think Neuhaus, as Rittik mentioned, that would be another good player. But I think Camavinga would be brilliant. I think he's good enough to play in the Premier League and alternate with Curtis Jones. So I think that's a good signing.
He would be, and the fact that Man United have gone so quiet on him, I forgot about Camavinga. I think it would work.
Yeah, and I think Ren need to sell this summer because I think his contract runs out. It's either next year or the year after. So this is the time to get the value on him. So it is a time to get him. He's not going to wait a year out of his career. So I think they should. That'd be a good move.
Definitely. I mean, other than that, there's not much really Liverpool are doing, are they? Really, in terms of movement in.
I think they should. I think they should sell.
Saul Niguez. We've got about Saul Niguez as well.
Saul is all right. I think he'd be okay, but I don't know. I think with Liverpool, it's more about they should sell. There's lots of things about an unpopular opinion would be you should sell Jordan Henderson, as long as it's to like an MLS club or something. Like just get a boatload of money in that you'll never get again. I think it could be worth it. But more importantly, I think you should sell one of Mane or Salah if they meet the right price. Because I think that front line needs rejuvenating. I think they missed a boat on Daniel Marlon. So maybe Jarrod Bowen was an interesting one from West Ham, but I reckon they could have got in early on Ismail Assar from Watford. Noni Madueke, I mentioned earlier at PSV, he started like a rocket in Champions League qualification. They should keep their eye on him. I think Liverpool as well. I'm not sure how much in need the midfielders of rejuvenating, because let's not forget they have Thiago in there. They just need to. I don't think they need to start thinking about rejuvenating that front line before it's too late.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree, mate. I agree. Should we talk about Arsenal quickly?
Oh yes, please. A slate.
Yes, please.
Oh my god!
And then we're
if
going
they
to talk
get Maddison, I'll be laughing so.
We'll talk Arsenal, and then we've still got Chelsea to talk about as well. We'll do that at the end, and we'll go through some bits. So make sure you stay tuned in. There's still 30 plus of views here as well, so smash the like button and get your questions in. The lines will be open soon as well, so for you guys to come in and get involved and chat about your teams as well. So, Alex, go on, mate.
Right, Arsenal. Where to begin? Oh my god, everyone's saying they have an amazing window. I think it's okay at best. I think Ben White, you spent 50 million on Ben White, who is a decent Premier League centre back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people like Sven Botman on the market who are a lot cheaper, and you could have got them for a cheaper price who are probably just as good. I think Lokonga is a good move. He's actually someone I watched in Belgium. Very good passer of the ball, good ball carrier. I quite like that. Nuno Tavares, I mean, whatever, he's not going to play unless Tierney gets injured. And then the attacking midfield, this is what makes and breaks the deal, ad. So the window and the chat.
Yeah.
All right. James Maddison, he's okay. He's good. He's an above average Premier League player. But for 70 million fans, 20 million, no, that's the same price as Sancho. No. Let me fire a stat at you guys. So Bruno Fernandes last season, he created 22 big chances for his teammates. Maddison created 6. In his first season in the Premier League, which was his best, he created 13. He's not really shown that level of creativity. So, I mean, Anmar said Maddison isn't 70 mil. I mean, he has said if Arsenal pay it. Yeah, that's the price Leicester are charging, 70 mil. He's not worth it, but to Leicester he is. I think Arsenal should be getting Aouar. If they don't get him, missing so much. I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, this is just gonna be what I've been meaning to say anyway. You know, I've always said James Maddison's a little bit overrated. I don't think he's that far from average. I really don't. I know he does a lot for Leicester, but like, who else have you really got in the attacking sense other than Vardy and him? It's not hard to shine out. It really isn't that hard, especially in the midfield as well. Obviously, you haven't did in Tielemans in defence, but I mean, you know that Maddison's going to be the one to take that camera on every single game or most games, and that's why the lights shone on him. But the fact that he's even been compared to the likes of Grealish, Fernandes, De Bruyne in terms of stats is a joke. I've seen so many knobheads on Twitter compare the three. It's not good. It's not good for football because, like I keep saying, the more you gas up a player that ain't on that level, the more they're going to be criticised, the more they're going to be watched, and the more they're going to be taken down by the media and by fans. And that is the problem right now.
Yeah, and Velv has just said Maddison doesn't play as a number 10 at Leicester. He plays much deeper. He doesn't play behind Tielemans. I disagree there, Velv. But even if he does play a bit deeper than you think, why are Arsenal signing him? They're trying to sign the number 10. If they're trying to sign the number 10, right, they should just go, and they're spending 70 million, they should just go get Odegaard. If they're trying to buy someone who's a hybrid 10 and 8, they should buy Aouar. Aouar's 25 million, and he's much better than Maddison stats wise, and he's younger. He's 23. Maddison's 24. Just Arsenal blows my mind a bit. I mean, I've been on a few Twitter spaces discussing Arsenal. Been with It's Jacinho talking about it, friend of the show. Ben White is a good move, but a 50. If it's hindered Arsenal spending, I don't think it has to be fair. But if it hinders Arsenal spending, then it's not amazing. Like he's decent, he's good, but let's not pretend he's even in the top 10 centre backs in the Premier League. Like,
oh no, he's not.
It's just I don't know. It's just something to it's just something I want to vent on a bit because I think Arsenal be spending a lot of money, but not entirely amazingly. It's good, but it's not amazing. They're not having as good a window as a Man United anywhere near. They're not having as good as window as a Leicester. And if Leicester sell Maddison, they've had the best window of the summer. Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight. Arsenal need to get Goncalves from Sporting. He's amazing. That's an interesting one as well. I mean, Jem, you just come back. What's your thoughts on Arsenal?
They're shit. No, I'm joking. I'm going to go down to their stadium and take a picture on their cannon again and upload it on Twitter so that everyone gets pissed off. No, look, I think they're doing the right thing. I think the signing of Ben White is being underlooked. I don't think he's a bad defender, actually. I think he's actually all right. I think he walks into their team quite easily, makes them stronger. I think the signing, well, who else have they signed? Ben White. Have they got anyone else? Lokonga. I haven't seen much of Lokonga, but I've heard that again. He's another decent talent, which I can't comment on. In terms of Maddison, I think that it might fall through, only purely because of Leicester's demands. You know how Leicester done it to us with Chilwell. They demand so much money for their players all the time that it becomes hard. And I don't think Arsenal are the kind of team that would bargain. Try and negotiate if Leicester are asking for something stupid. In terms of Tammy Abraham, I think if they don't get Martinez, which is the talks at the moment, they're looking to try and get Martinez across, then I think he's their second option, and they'll probably lay the 40 million down and take him once Chelsea have sorted out this this striker situation. So they are strengthening in certain areas, but I still think that there's a lot. I mean, the right back thing's just crap because Bellerin needs to go. There's talks about Xhaka now apparently staying because the Roma agreements fell through, so he might still be, which might be a good thing because he had a good Euros, didn't he? To be fair to him. I don't know with Arsenal. It's just I just don't.
I mean, direct comparison will be Tottenham and their window because both windows are very similar in my opinion. I think, well, both teams have brought in a centre back, but in terms of Ben White, well, in fairness, Tottenham haven't confirmed it, but bringing in Romero from Atalanta, both teams have brought in a wonder kid in Lokonga and Brian Hill. Brian Hill's definitely more proven than Lokonga, though I would say, and both teams have brought in both teams are looking to buy a player that I'm not keen on. I mean, Tottenham have brought in Galini, which is it's like average, if that. It's not a replacement for
Romero for Tottenham. Is he?
See, this is where I was going to go. If Tottenham bring in Romero, they've had a better window than Arsenal because Romero is objectively a better defender than Ben White. Romero was named Serie A Defender of the Year last year. He's fantastic. Very good at intercepting the ball. Very good at rushing out of defense. He's a bit like, this will make you hard, Jem. It's David Luiz in Conte's first season. Middle of a back three, getting out, winning the ball back. Very, very good at that. The only thing with Romero is he'd need to adapt to a back four due to his current play style. But physically, he's amazing. Really good at winning the ball back.
Ben White is Rob Holding, and their best centre back is at Marseille. Even that Phillips.
No, I wouldn't go that harsh. Ben White is a lot better than Rob Holding. Definitely a lot more potential too. But
Mike Hill, Jim, who do you think has the best defence now? United. This is a good question. The thing is with Liverpool is, does Virgil van Dijk come back at the same level? That's the thing, because this injury that he's recently picked up is a serious injury. So I think it depends on Liverpool with Van Dijk. But to be honest, I thought Diaz had a very good season for Man City. I actually think he's going to get found out next season a little bit. I think he's a good defender. I just don't think he's world class. So I actually think if I was to put it in order, first 11, I'd probably say Man United, Chelsea, and then I would probably say Liverpool. It depends. Either or. If Van Dijk comes back to his best, then maybe Liverpool, City. But I still think Chelsea have got a better defence than.
Well, that's a good point to pivot into Chelsea. There's a few people wishing as well. I think
Chelsea talk. Yeah.
First team wise, defence. United have clearly the best defence in the league. Very clearly. I don't think there's much debate in that. Maybe Man City, like Laporte, Diaz, Stones on form, then Kyle Walker and João Cancelo. Then the left back's a bit iffy. Depth-wise, Chelsea have the best defence. I mean, right wing back, it's a hybrid role at right wing back, but even with Reece James, you've got a very, very good right back there. Centre backs, you've now got Azpilicueta and Koundé in one area. That's, well, not now, but hypothetically, with Koundé and Azpilicueta, you've got very good depth in right centre back. Centre back, In the middle, we've got Christensen, who's proved himself to be fantastic in that role, and Thiago Silva, who's elite anyway. And the left centre-back role, you've got Rudiger. And then I don't think you've sorted out anything for Ethan Ampadu. If he can come back, he could potentially...
Nah, but there's a lot of players still to go out. We've got so many players that are faffing around. Barkley's, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Moose Saunders. Who else have we got? Zappa-Costas. Like all these players that we're not even going to use. Obviously, Conor Gallagher's gone to Crystal Palace. I think you'll see more go to Crystal Palace as well.
Oh, what? It's a shame there's no Crystal Palace fans that can join the stream and make it 100 live views because I talk about them all day. I'm loving their move so far.
Yeah. It's Koundé definitely strengthens, gives us versatility. There's talks about Chelsea looking at a DM still. I've got a feeling it's going to be Tchouaméni. Alex, I'd like to get your thoughts on Tchouaméni. Do you think he suits how Chelsea play and what we are currently doing under Tuchel?
It depends. If it's for just midfield, yeah, he's pretty good. It'd be pretty standard. If it's for a DM, no, don't think he won't work as a DM. It's not where he's played really for Monaco. He's played in like a pivot in duo. So I think if you're bringing him in, it depends. If you're bringing him in to be like a defensive partner to like a Jorginho or to a Kovacic or like replace Kante long term, they could work. But if it's like a lone defensive midfielder, he's not that player, or at least he hasn't shown evidence of being that long player. I think an interesting thing to mention with Chelsea, we'll kind of mention it there. And I think the good thing about Chelsea is they've got so many players that we all know of that you can talk about the players that have come back from loan and it can be an open topic, in fact, to the stream. So in my head, I'm trying to think what players can come back to Chelsea and get into the team next season because Ruben Loftus-Cheek is back. Do you think he's dead now at Chelsea?
Yeah,
he has to leave?
I think this is his last opportunity to impress. I think Ross Barkley needs to go.
Ross Barkley definitely.
I think Ross Barkley's got this thing where he literally deceives people. Like he is a deceiver of a footballer. Like he will be really good in pre-season, and then the manager will be like, "Oh, actually, he's got some talent, this guy," and he'll get into the league. We'll come on, and he'll just be non-existent for like 3 games, and it's like, is he even playing? Like, what was the point of bringing him? He's non-effective. He doesn't do it. He's not offering much, but. Yeah, I think he'll go. We're quite strong in the final third. Obviously, the striker situation we're going to touch on in a minute in terms of options and that. But I just think there will be a lot of players that won't make it. And this is hence why I don't think I would have kept Billy Gilmore. I don't know why we gave him to Norwich in the first place. I thought
he needs game time. He needs game time.
He does need game time, but he still could have played. Chelsea compete in all 4 competitions next season. He would have been sort of mixed and matched in the cup games and stuff. Played,
yeah.
But now we've got to go and look to go and buy someone. It's going to cost us probably 30 million up to 80 million if it's Declan Rice. So I do not want blimmin' Declan Rice for that.
It's not that good.
Money. So
I might take Declan Rice, not for 80 million, but I take him.
Yeah,
I'd say you pay 60 and it's fair.
Yeah, exactly. So at a low fee, and then it gets to the big thing, the big issue, which there's 40 people here now. So smash the like button. Let's get to 40 likes, people. The link's going to be in the chat soon as well. You guys can get involved. Haaland. There's been lots of talks around the Chelsea striker situation and Haaland coming to Chelsea. Obviously, it's still very quiet. Obviously, whatever Chelsea are doing in the wings, if we can get him in, then I think personally it's gone either one or two ways. We were either past the bid situation and it's just about the announcement, and Dortmund are telling us to hold fire until they sort themselves out. If you notice, Dortmund have been moving around quite frequently recently, looking at individuals to bring in Chiesa, Demiral. They were looking at some new attacker recently as well. I can't remember his name. I think Haaland's. If we don't hear any movement from Haaland by the end of next week, then I think we've got to set ourselves up for that. He ain't going to possibly come. But one way or the other, I would expect an announcement of some kind to come. And Alex, is Haaland? Number one, is Haaland good enough? Is good for Chelsea? Do you think he's the profile striker they need? And do you think Chelsea will get him or not?
I've brace yourself, Joe. Brace yourself, because I've got some interesting news. I've got some interesting news about Haaland.
Come on in, let's go.
It's that he's not going to Chelsea.
Oh God! Why?
You're just not getting him. Do you see what happened with Sancho of United? If Dortmund were going to sell him, he'd have been gone before July. It would have been confirmed. All of that. There is no way on this planet that Haaland leaves this window. Dortmund don't
Nonsense.
have to sell him. Dortmund don't.
I
have
will
to
not
sell
hear
him.
that on
Dortmund
this
don't,
channel.
wait, Dortmund don't have to sell him. I know you don't want to hear it. You want to put it in your title that Euro expert says Haaland's coming to Chelsea. It's not happening. If he came to Chelsea, it'd be brilliant. Chelsea will win the league. He's the best striker in the world.
Why do you think it has to be done so soon? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why?
Because Dortmund aren't idiots. If they were going to sell Haaland, they would have got their replacement sorted. But they've got nothing confirmed. They brought in Donyell Malen, which is very clearly a Sancho replacement. They also don't need to sell
a Sancho
Haaland.
replacement. He's a striker. How can he?
No, he's a second striker. He plays off the wing quite a lot. That's what he did at PSV.
Game's broken.
It's broken. I'm still confident that we can get it done. But that's my feeling to it. I think it's more of a. I agree with you in terms of Dortmund having to find someone to replace him, and maybe that's what's stalling it at the moment. Maybe they are looking for someone to come in before Chelsea announce it. If we don't get him now, then I don't think we get him next season. Even when he drops down to 70-odd million in package, I think there will be so much competition unless Chelsea have managed to agree something with him for next year.
Well, here's the thing. I was going to go up to you there and say, yeah, you're not getting him, but no, it is an interesting thing. If they've done enough background work, if they've done enough background work, potentially next season, when Dortmund are more willing to sell or more open to it, and they lower their asking price, perhaps they will say, okay, Haaland, they'll say Haaland, you can go. And Haaland, if he's already got a connection built up with Chelsea, if the talks have already started and Chelsea have been putting down the groundwork, then potentially Haaland can say, well, I don't need to be really convinced by any other teams. I've got this sorted. I'm going to go to Chelsea. But it's just there's a lot of people.
But does he suit Chelsea? If he comes to Chelsea, does Chelsea win the league in your eyes?
Oh yeah, easy. He suits anything. He's ridiculously talented. He's good at everything, and he's 20. It's insane. He's a cheat code. If someone's watching him in the Bundesliga, I've seen him. It was Wolfsburg last season, one of the best defensive sides in the Bundesliga. Built Dortmund down to 10 men, and Haaland scored 2 goals on his own by running up the pitch and dragging 3 defenders with him. He's incredible. But the issue is
the tributes. I think he's a tribute. So people say that he might flop in the Premier League. I think he breaks records in the Premier League. He will score goals. He can handle the physicality of the league. He's quick. He can score the unusual goals as well from the hard angles, can't he? He's that type of player. He's not someone that's always in the box and putting it away, which we know he can. Do you know what I mean? But he's got everything. He suits Chelsea massively because, I think he's the guy I've wanted for before Harry Kane and Lewandowski and all these guys. He's the main guy, Lukaku, that I've wanted at Chelsea. And I just feel like this is why I keep linking it. You look what happened with Havertz last season with Leverkusen. It had the same stench in terms of how long it dragged out, how long we was talking about. It was actually longer than the Haaland news. It was going into, I think, 2-3 months, this Havertz talk. All of a sudden, you're right, it gets close to the end of the transfer window. Chelsea announced that they've laid the offer and they switch it around and bang, he's a player of ours. Yeah. I've just got that feeling that it's got that same sort of.
Well, there's a bit of difference. There's a bit of difference. Well, Havertz was confirmed for about £80 million on the 4th of September, which was nearly exactly a month before the transfer window closed for Chelsea and all teams. It's currently 19 days till Chelsea's transfer window closes. And it's not much longer until Dortmund's closes, right? And when the Premier League once closes, a lot of money stops going around. And to break your heart even further, because I have seen a lot of things, if I was to make an honest assessment of what Premier League club most likely right now, well, not right now, but in future he's going to go to, it's probably Man United. Because he'd already agreed personal terms last January before he went to Dortmund.
He
already agreed.
He turned them away to go Dortmund.
He didn't. United called out because they had the buyback clause, and United said no.
I don't think that was it. I'll tell you why. Because this is what I've heard. This is actually thingy. He apparently, as an individual, I'm talking about the player now. Forget everything else. Doesn't like taking the big steps too early in his career. He's a player that's already confirmed that he wants to take it by steps. So he went to Salzburg. He then had Man United as an option after he left there, and Dortmund obviously coming. He chose Dortmund as the next step to go to. Yeah, he's now looking at why I don't think he'll go to Real Madrid now or anyone like that is because for him it's too much of a big step to go and do. So if Chelsea is the next new step, because we're the only ones that are slightly interested in him, I think that works. And the reason I say that is because you look at Eden Hazard. He came to Chelsea. He was always destined to go to Real Madrid. He didn't want to take that big step by going there straight away. Now I know Haaland would, if he went to Real Madrid today, would work. It would work. Don't get me wrong, but from what the player wants and how he's progressing as he gets older, I think Chelsea is the next stepping stone for him for the next 4 years before he decides to go in his mid-20s to a Real Madrid, which he will do. You know, I just don't think Man United will get him. But that's my opinion.
To be honest, I'll add on that. To be honest, I don't think we'll get him. To be honest, I actually don't think we'll get him. I think what we'll do is because obviously everyone's forgetting that it's not Cavani from 2015 when he was at his best. It's over 30-year-old Cavani. We're not going to keep him forever now. We're not going to keep him forever. So I think what we'll do is we'll initially reach out for a striker once Chelsea bag a Haaland, to be honest with you, because that's just what Manchester United do nowadays. Yeah. And that's sadly that's what it is. And I think I agree with Jeb to a certain extent. I think when he's at Chelsea, when he does go there, because I think that's the club he's destined to go to, and that's just me being truly honest, I think he will do amazing things just like Hazard, and then he'll go to his dream club, Real Madrid or Barcelona. And that's what most of the best players set to be, like Hazard do. They go to a club, and like Jem said, it's a stepping stone. I don't think he will come to us, mainly because we have so many options that we have at the moment, including a Cavani, a Martial, who I don't think is a number 9. And like I said, the poor management and recruiting at Manchester United, and Haaland would definitely go to Chelsea before we even get a look in. So that's how I think I would go.
I agree. And look, there's over 50 people here right now. 1 second, there's over 50 people here right now, so make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. The link will be in the chat probably very soon. I'm going to shoot soon once we do that because I've got to get ready. I've got to head out. But yeah, Alex, go on. What was you going to say on Haaland? Let's hear it.
Oh yeah, please stay for this, because you guys mentioned some very very good points about the fact that the stepping stone thing, that Chelsea could be a stepping stone to Madrid and Barcelona, and Haaland has shown, as you did mention as well, it's a good point. United had agreed personal terms, but in the end, Haaland did go to Dortmund, not only because of the release clause, but also because it was the next logical step. However, I have got a quote up here from Mino Raiola, Haaland's agent, about Haaland. And he said, with Haaland, everybody was wrong. He did things much quicker than everybody imagined. He's had his own schedule. I was too careful when I said, let's move to Dortmund instead of I don't know where. But now it's different. I'm convinced he can fit into any club. So just thinking about the stepping stone thing, and Chelsea being a stepping stone, that can't, maybe not. Maybe not. The talk, the way he's framing it right now is it doesn't matter which club. So if Barcelona or Real Madrid have the funds, or Bayern Munich have the funds next time, I don't think Haaland's going to be thinking, a Chelsea or United. I think he's literally just going to be thinking, where's the club I can go to score the most goals?
I think you should forget that there's a real nice project going on at Chelsea at the moment, and there's a lot of young talented players there. You've got Havertz there, you've got Mason Mount there, you've got Callum Hudson-Odoi. You've got Pulisic, yeah. Like there's a lot going on at Chelsea at the moment that would attract a youngster like Haaland to not only play with them players, but play under a manager like Tuchel, who, let's be serious, is one of the best in the world at the moment, isn't he? Let's just be serious.
Yeah, that's why Haaland's definitely he's definitely considering this Chelsea move.
There's a lot attractive about Chelsea is what I'm trying to get at in it. And I get you. Look, I've already said if we don't do anything by next week, then we maybe need to set ourselves up that we're not getting him, but we will get someone. The striker is going to come through the door. Now, there's talks about Danny Ings, yeah? Danny Ings comes in, but he can't be your main striker. It's too injury prone. So he then goes in as second striker. Then you still need your main number 1. Lukaku supposedly turned around and said that he's not interested in staying in. I think that's the case. I really do. Who's left? Because we're not going to get Lewandowski from Bayern Munich. He's still too important for them, yeah? Harry Kane looks like he's going to go to Man City, and Tottenham would never sell Harry Kane to Chelsea whatsoever because Daniel Levy doesn't do business with Chelsea. Now I'm surprised Tommy isn't in the chat right now because he would be saying Vlahovic from Fiorentina is someone that Chelsea should be looking at. But is he a one-hit wonder? I don't know. I just think it's gone so quiet to the point that Chelsea must be doing something with Haaland here, because if they wasn't, you would have seen a different avenue, a different link, do you know what I mean? And it's getting too close to the end. So something's got to be going on, Alex. That's what I'm saying.
I get that. But in my honest opinion, the opinion of, and maybe I'm being a bit cynical, but I don't think Chelsea end the summer with Haaland. I think they end the summer with panic buying Danny Ings.
But that don't really answer any question for us. Danny Ings is not going to be able to play in all 4 competitions.
Oh, it won't be. He'll keep Danny Ings for about a year, alternating with Havertz, and then next season you'll try again with Haaland or another striker. But it's just the chances of getting Haaland right now. You've got to convince him that Chelsea. I'm not saying this is impossible. I'm not making a dig at Chelsea, but you've got to convince him they're a better club to go to than Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, or PSG. That's the task.
I think we've done that at the moment, though. I think there's.
Or is it more a case you're the only one? You're the only team who's inquired.
Well, we are, but we're also the champions of Europe. Yeah, that in itself is a selling point. Haaland's already said that his next step is that he wants to win trophies. He wants to be somewhere where he can compete. He wants to win young. Yeah, if Chelsea are the most successful team in the Premier League in the last 20 years. They've won more trophies than any other football club. You know, there's a lot that works for me for this deal. And I'm not saying that it's 100% he's coming, this, that, and the other, but I'm just saying that Chelsea shouldn't be played down as much as people were doing. And I'm not saying you are, Alex, but I know a lot of rivals are doing that at the moment, saying, why would he go to Chelsea? Why, there's no, it's not going to happen, etc. Like, I just don't get that. Velv's here anyway. Velv, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Right, mate.
I'm loving this comment from Quinty.
Yeah, I was laughing at that comment. I just saw that pop up.
Ginger Kid just doesn't want to. Ginger Kid doesn't want to.
Can I just clarify to you, Quincy? I'm a neutral. If Chelsea sign Haaland, I couldn't care less. If they don't sign him, I couldn't care less. I just don't think you're going to sign him. Sorry to hurt you, mate.
Yeah, Alex is a Norwich City fan. So
yeah, that's the one.
He's got Timo Pukki. He's clear.
Exactly. Sorry, Valve. Yeah, Liverpool. Quickly, I guess. How angry are you?
Fuck FSG. I'll start off with that. I'm like, these men are not backing Klopp, man. Like, clearly we need a genie replacement, someone who's going to be available, someone who's not injury prone, someone who's going to be playing week in, week out. We need a backup winger, a backup to Mane because Origi's shit. Like, I don't know how he's still at the club. I don't know why we rejected 10 million for him from Mönchengladbach. Like, he's worth 5 million, Origi. Like, 10 million is a bonus, man. Just get rid of him. Shaqiri, I'm saying he hasn't worked out. I mean, in his first season, he was good, but slowly when he's got the injuries, he has been reliable. Even though when he comes on, he makes an impact, but it's time to move him on. And he said he wants to leave as well. So, yeah, move him on. And, yeah, we need a striker as well because we're not clinical.
No offense, Velv, but I really don't care about Liverpool because they're not doing anything at the moment. And I find them quite boring.
Here's a gem thing. You said that Chelsea have gone so quiet on Haaland that they've got to be doing something.
Yeah.
Liverpool have technically gone even quieter. So, what if they're sneakily getting Haaland?
No, we ain't getting Haaland.
They can't afford Haaland. How are they going to pay 150 million for Haaland? They can't even pay 20 quid to get a player. Do you know what I mean?
Alex, we can't even sign John McGinn.
I just want to bring this up as well.
Who is a Chelsea fan believes it is stupid money that Chelsea want to pay for. It's not though, is it? And this is the thing. Like Samuel, I respect your comment 100%, but this guy is going to generate so much income for us from a marketing aspect, from what he's going to do in terms of allowing us to win major trophies. Yeah, we're going to generate from that. Champions League football, you generate money from. When we decide to sell him, we generate money from. It's going to be a lot more rewarding in terms of profiting than it is just than it is just losing out. It is a lot of money in this generation now, this current situation, this current climate. No one spent more than 100 million on a player in the Premier League ever. So this is why this deal's so big, and this is why these deals do take sometimes so long, because it is a massive deal. But if Chelsea are doing this and they do get it done, they're signing a player that they will profit from. Yes, it's a lot of money now, but they will make money in the long run, and he will pay us back. I think he will. He will win a number of trophies with us and major trophies with us, and we need to get it done. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's like Messi and Ronaldo. They're the next level. Haaland and Mbappe. You get one of them at your club, then you're guaranteed success. You know, that's why I see it.
You forgot Kabak, yeah.
Who? Kabak.
Yeah,
good player. I would say this bit as well, because Andrew said he means Jan Fjortov, one of the journalists. He said Haaland has no deep desire to play Spanish teams. I just want to say, guys, because a lot of you here, and a lot of you probably tweet or DM these journalists to say, Haaland news or this news. Just say one. I listen. As someone who tries to follow European football and tries to follow so many transfers, don't listen to it. These guys. I don't mean bad at these guys, but they're getting asked Haaland news every single day. They're being pressured to provide news every single day. So even the smallest development is going to be blown up into big news. And have you know, even with about 100 days of Romano and Furotov saying Haaland said this, Haaland's done that, nothing's actually happened. So with these sort of things, I wouldn't believe any of it until you actually see something concrete happening, because these are genuinely, it's just a new form of rumours. I remember being younger and going on BBC Sport Transfers and looking at Messi wants to come to Chelsea and getting excited. This is just a new form of it, of different journalists with 100,000 followers on Twitter saying they've got sources and saying this is happening, when in reality, they're all going against each other. So, you know,
I agree.
I just wouldn't believe it.
And journalists, as a rule, they know a lot more than what they tell us. They spoon feed us, and this is why I say to people, you've got to read in between the lines with journalists. You know, and Jan knows more than what he's leading on to. He's linked to the Haaland family. You know, they're all like one in many ways. So there's a lot that people need to.
You've got to think as well, like going on that. This is Jan's job. It's Fabrizio Romano's job right now. It's his life to tease and make transfer stories. To ruin his own job, he would have to come out and say Haaland's not moving, or Haaland is going to move. So it's just like, of course, they're not going to tell you I don't want to come across as a bashing journalist, because they've been going through a lot. I was reading a good piece about how when you spam people Haaland news, it's just like it's so degrading to them. There was actually a journalist whose house had burnt down, and he tweeted about it saying, "I got out safely." And the first thing that came up was like Havertz news, and that was like last year or something. It's just like, so don't tweet these people these things. But also, when Romano is giving you these little tidbits of information about Haaland, just remember he's not doing you a favor. He's not secretly giving you the stuff. It's his job to make money off teasing you information. He could probably give you all the information he has in a single day, but he won't, because one, he'll destroy his sources, and two, it will ruin his job. So that's why this stuff, you just take it with a massive grain of salt.
I agree, and that's a part of it. And he will lead you on. I actually think he has like templates, you know, with his here we goes, and then he he just copies and pastes and change it. That's what he does, because
Fabrizio's a tapping merchant, man.
Like Tappy Abraham, yeah? Tappy Merchant. Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting. And look, it seems like used to specifically don't think Haaland is going to be a Chelsea player. I'm still, probably because I'm a Chelsea fan, still kind of confident that we can get it done. Hoping more that we can get it done. Am I running out of slowly losing the faith in it a little bit? You know, if we go into next week and there's still no sort of news coming out and it's still very quiet, then I'd be slightly worried about it going into the end of next week. But do we need to make movements? And I think you're going to see that in the next week or so, whether it's for the good or the bad. We're going to see something come in, but it doesn't answer the question, because we need someone to put it in the back of the net, and I think Danny Ings will put it in the back of the net. It's just he's an injury prone player, so we still need someone else. Brozier is a great young talent, but you can't rely on him. Do you know what I mean? Going into next season.
Oh yeah, no, he should play minutes. He's not good enough.
Vlahovic, would you not take him?
Meh, he's all right. It's very hard to see if he'll do well in the Premier League. He's played in Italy, where listen, I did a study on the leagues recently, which puts Serie A as the fourth best league, and the difference between leagues are minimal. However, we've seen players like Immobile completely fail outside of Italy. So with Vlahovic, you kind of want to take it with a pinch of salt. You don't know how good he'll be.
Immobile's just a shit player.
Huh? He's not, though. He's not shit because he's smashed it in Serie A. Like, he's belted it, and it's a very good league. It's just with Vlahovic, you don't know. Whenever you're taking the foreign sign in, there is a chance of Sancho getting 10 goals next season, and that's it, because he's got to adjust to the Premier League. He's got to adjust to England, to the culture. A lot of different things can go wrong. So Vlahovic is like, that's why Kane and Grealish are safe transfers, besides the injuries, because they don't really have to adjust or anything. But Vlahovic going to Chelsea, I don't know. I see him more at Liverpool, really. But
I want him at Liverpool, man. But we're not going to sign. We're going to sign flipping.
I've got to shoot, I'll let you finish off, Alex. I'll see you in a bit.
Take care.
Right, lovely. Jem's gone. Let's talk about Crystal Palace. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I do want to, like, you know. I mean, Chelsea fans as well in the chat. I want to keep all of you on side. Don't go away that Jem's gone. You know, this is the Euro expert here. We talk about all clubs, especially Chelsea. But yeah, I'm with Chelsea. I think they're having with Koundé. It would be a decent move, right? Be an okay window. But I just think, tell you what, everyone in the chat, rank who's having the best transfer window and who's having the worst. I mean,
Ooh.
Velf, I know you're going to say worst is Liverpool, but
100%.
I mean, it's easy to think so. Or
I'll say Liverpool. Yeah.
or
No, I'll say Liverpool.
who are you going to say?
No, I was thinking Spurs, but I forgot they signed a youngster.
Yeah, Hill. Yeah, he's been brilliant. I'm putting the link in the
heard
chat,
them
by the way.
Romero's good. I think Nuno's actually going to go with a back three next season.
Yeah, so do I. I think Nuno will go with back three. I think the best windows so far have been Man United and Crystal Palace and Leicester. And those three teams have fucking smashed it. Leicester with Patterson Daka, although don't put him in your fantasy football team because he won't be very good. We've got Lee in. Hello, Lee. What have you come in to say? Not a lot. Okay. No, we'll give you a second to unmute your mic. But yeah.
Another news, Ben White is the new number 4 at Arsenal.
Yeah, I guess that's good for Arsenal.
So they just got rid of Saliba's number.
Oh my god. It's Saliba, they've got a good player. So in fairness, long term this all could work out. So Ben White, good signing. What are the chat signing? How have United smashed it with no DM? Because they've got Varane and Sancho in, man. I mean, I get it. Like the DM would make it the best window, one of the best windows of all time. But I don't know. It's hard. How many teams have had a better window than them? I don't think maybe arguably Leicester, and they still need a right winger. They still need to bring in like Mateus Pereira. So yeah,
Mateus Pereira. Who's going for him again?
It's West Ham and Leicester are the teams.
Yeah, if West Ham get Mateus Pereira, and when they link with Sven Botman or something.
Yeah, they're not getting Botman. if they get Botman, I'll strip naked.
Well, how has no one gone for Botman, man?
I think so. The thing that I've read about, for anyone who doesn't know, Sven Botman, the centre back from Lille, who's been hyped up for a long time. The thing that I've read that people are a bit unconvinced on is his experience at top level. Obviously, he's only played one full season of football, so that's why the big clubs aren't in for him.
Yeah, I would have loved him to be honest at Liverpool.
You fucking love anyone at Liverpool, really.
Yeah, but I might as well name 100 players because we're probably going to sign one of them at least. So.
Exactly.
I pray do sign one of them I name.
Some people, I think there's a chat argument in the chat saying, yeah, he supports people saying that Haaland will go to Barca. I think I don't know if you've not been watching the news, mate, but Barca. Hang on, he said it. Nath Assad, just for some information we are broke before you lot say we can't register players. How is Depay playing and Messi signing a new contract? They're not playing. You haven't registered them. For anyone who doesn't know, Barcelona, okay, they've signed Depay, they've signed Aguero, they've signed Garcia, they've signed Emerson, and they've given Messi a new contract. You need to cut your wage bill to 160 million euros a year. Right now, it's 300 million. You literally cannot play Depay in the league yet. You haven't actually registered them.
Exactly.
Nathan. So I don't know.
They need to get once you get rid of Griezmann. Who else is there? Frankie De Jong is on high wages.
Yeah, Depay was playing. He was playing in a friendly.
Yeah,
you don't need to register players for that. You can't. So at least far as I'm aware, unless I'm seeing a major change in news, you haven't actually Barcelona cannot still actually pay these players.
Literally, you could go on trial and play in pre-season. Daniel Sturridge has gone to Spain. He's not there. I forgot what team he's joined.
Usain Bolt played for Dortmund in pre-season.
Yeah. And flipping, was it 2 seasons ago? Lonergan was at in League One. Then he came on trial to us, and he was starting playing pre-season games. Then we just decided to sign him because, fuck it, why not? Just sign a third-choice goalkeeper.
Exactly. Yeah. So
playing friendlies doesn't mean anything.
Sorry, Nafa, but yeah, I'm sorry to break your heart. This is start station. Maybe you will play Depay, but you will literally need to sell players if that's going to happen, Nafa. So yeah, and Messi took a 50% wage cut. He has taken a 50% wage cut, and guess what? They still haven't been able to register him. So that's how bad it is in Barcelona.
Actually, let's check Barcelona's wages actually again.
I think it's like 200 to 300 million euros a year. Messi cutting it does take a bit off of it, but they still need to get rid of players, and it's quite fun. Here's an interesting thing, guys. Which club gets Coutinho? Because, but the rule, the articles on Marca that I've actually been reading, they've said that Barcelona trying to sell Coutinho, but literally no one wants him, which I find quite hard to believe. But I think it's just because of the
want
wages.
him, but Klopp doesn't want it. Klopp's like, yeah, you go back. Like you rejected us. You had your chance. You could have stayed at the club, but no, you decided to leave, so you're not coming back.
Yeah,
I think Coutinho should go to I don't know. To be honest, probably United back up to Bruno.
They've got Van de Beek, though, haven't they? I think a club that gets Coutinho, they need to actually, like they said, they need big finances to actually afford him, because they basically need Coutinho to not take a hit on them, which I think is why Leicester haven't done it. I think maybe that's why Arsenal haven't done it. Although Arsenal, to be fair, could they do worse than Coutinho? I don't know.
I think they're giving the number 10 to Odegaard.
I take Coutinho over James Maddison at the moment. I mean, ability-wise, he's the best player they could bring in. It's just more about injury record in the future, I guess.
I think if they're looking for someone that could split the defense, then Coutinho's not going to do that. He's going to dribble in the defense rather than finding it with the pass.
Yeah.
With Maddison, he's probably going to find it with a pass. It depends what Arsenal want, really. Because Smith Rowe's, I don't want to be rude to him, but he's a basic player.
He's all right. He's decent. He's decent.
He does a job.
So I don't mean to. I mean, I don't want to bully. But I think it's fun for the stream. Enough of us just said that Barca will never be broker. We don't want to sell Coutinho because he can't be sold, only loaned. You're telling me Barcelona, they're saying we don't want to sell Coutinho for money. We don't want to get his wages off the budget. We just want to loan him out. But yeah, we want to keep paying a bit of his wages. We just don't want him to play for us. I don't quite think that's made a lot of sense.
Here's the thing, Nafa. If Arsenal want it, just give it to Arsenal. Even if it's looking like a championship wants him, just give it to them. Just take the money you can get because you need it.
Nafa's just said, you guys don't know nothing about La Liga or Spain. Stay on your bubble. If you read my name, mate, I'm the Euro expert. I've watched more La Liga than the Premier League.
Hey, Nafa, come on then. Nafa, there's a link.
Nafa, please, Nafa, John. I'm sorry. It's just I wouldn't be going confrontational. It's just the way you're coming against. You guys know nothing. Fake news. Come on. I'm gonna keep bantering it. If you keep coming. In the meantime, while he replies, what's everyone else saying? Added to which Depay and Aguero had to agree to take a 30% wage reduction in what was initially agreed. It's bad, really bad. Barca and life sport. They are. They're literally. They wouldn't. But Barcelona wouldn't be asking if you think Barcelona aren't in wage cuts, why are they asking Messi to take a 50% wage cut? If they're not in financial trouble, why are they? Why is all this news blowing up about them?
And Nafa as well. You're getting free transfers. You're not even paying to get someone If you're saying you're not broke, that means you would have gone for
why are all your transfers on freeze? Yeah.
You got Garcia a free agent, Aguero's a free agent, Depay on the free agent. You tried to get Gini Wijnaldum on the free agent, and he's like, nope.
It's why? Are Barcelona broke? No. So why did you sign Aguero over Martinez? Aguero's better.
Nafa's come back. I live in Barcelona.
He might well live in Barcelona. That's fair enough, Nafa. But I think
can you speak Spanish?
No, Nafa. If you live in Barcelona, I think you're a bit shielded from the news at the moment. Maybe you're reading a bit too much of the positive news. Anyway, we've got Big Ron in. That could be a name taking the mick out of me because I do look a bit like Ron Weasley. Big Ron, what's up?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Oh, doing good.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Happy Friday to everybody, man. It's been a long week.
It's been a very long week. What have you got up to this week?
Just working, man. Just working and listening to the fan channels, man. The conspiracy theories with Chelsea fans over Haaland is crazy. It's like a plot out of Game of Thrones.
I was just killing Jem.
Yeah, you broke his heart, his face when you sort of said some of those things. It was kind of because it's all a bit up in the air now. I mean, if Chelsea pull it off, then fair play to Chelsea. And Johnny, whenever he comes on the stream, he puts a good case forward. He puts a good argument forward, and it's hard to kind of fault his logic. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I just want to go back to Aguero's backup striker, and due to Maradona, wish he wanted Aguero in Barca. Okay.
That means you would have paid for him a time ago. So why are you waiting for him on the free?
Anyway, you guys know. Anyway, you guys don't know nothing. So you're saying we know something? We don't know nothing. We know something. Thank you, Nafa.
Thank you.
But sorry, back to you, Ron. Are you a Chelsea fan then?
I'm a Man United fan, but I
Okay.
do like the discussion and debate amongst all kind of football fans and stuff like that. If that makes sense.
Well, let's take it to United quickly. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you?
You know what? It's an interesting. I take it you mean regarding the transfer window.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good one, unprecedented almost for United fans. And it's an interesting one in the sense that some of the narrative is that, well, you know, the Glazers, because of the Super League, they want to make it up to fans. That's why they're splashing the cash. So I would have thought FSG would have been doing something similar with the Liverpool fans, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
I think we should ban the word FSG.
It's funny because it's literally what I was thinking before you said it, Ron. Who would have predicted in April 2021 that in 3 months' time the owners trying to make it up to their fans the least would be FSG. Kroenke spending like what? Kroenke and Arsenal spending like 100 million. Chelsea in bid for Haaland have brought in Koundé. Man City are splashing 100 million on Grealish and Kane. United have brought in Varane and Sancho. Tottenham have got in Romero and Brian Hill, and Liverpool can't afford Henderson's new contract.
It's a bit of a head scratcher. I mean, obviously, Bills is a Liverpool fan, so you might be able to put a bit more insight into it.
Yeah, guys, if you super chat enough, we'll divert it to Liverpool. Definitely not my back pocket.
All I'm saying is Trent just signed a new contract on during stream. He's now the same wages on Thiago, Salah, so he's on like 200k now.
Yeah,
it's obvious like he's not going to FSG are not going to give wages for old players. This is why Genie left. Like, yeah, he put in his interview, he said, "Oh, because of the fans." No, let's be real. It's just because he wasn't offered the money. He was on 70k a week at Liverpool. Players like Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain earning more money than him when they're literally made out of biscuits. I mean, I pray that Naby Keita stays fit because he's been a fucking beast in pre-season, but I'm not going to doubt it. And that Ronaldo just sat there with 70k. Like, he's gone, and I feel like Henderson. I don't think he'll go now. I think he'll leave on the free because he wants to stay at Liverpool. Like, he wants. If the only club he would leave, he would probably go to either MLS or Sunderland. But I don't see anywhere else. Not a United, not into any team in the Premier League.
Fair enough. I want to keep beefing the comments quickly just because it's funny. Daniel has actually brought up a good point. He says, "Trust me, guys, all this Haaland news, everyone has their own opinion on the situation, but I will say how CFC have done the Koundé deal with nobody knowing, shows Chelsea already done this deal." This is a very good point. You know, Chelsea have operated in the darkness on Koundé, but the flaw in this comment is that they haven't actually signed Koundé and the deal's not done. Like, Sevilla, they're still negotiating. So if it comes out, you know, like all that's come out really is that Chelsea are negotiating with Sevilla for Koundé and they've agreed personal terms, which is quite well done for them. But with Haaland, he is the most watched player in the world right now. Everyone is talking about these moves. Mino Raiola has got a phone up to every journalist in the world. We will hear about it when Haaland fucking agrees his goal bonus with Chelsea. Like, there's this is one coming back. Like Will quickly said to that. I think I don't know where the comment's gone. Will said something like listen, guys, the deal was done. So that's why, you know. And I'm just like, no, it's not. If the deal was done, then it would have been done by now. And if they're negotiating, then I think Dortmund are just straddling Chelsea along and ruining an arrival, which is quite funny. What's this? Arsenal offering Granit Xhaka a new deal until June 2025. They've done it, apparently, then. I'm guessing this. Well, this is copy and pasted tweet. You guys talk about it while I will fact check it.
Ferguson's been getting all the news up in the chat, so big up to Ferguson. It's been updating the news in the chat.
Kind of interject on the Haaland thing was Mino seems to have a template with his players, and he seems to need a club that's kind of like a Mark, where they're going to pay big money for him. The player will then move there. They'll then run their contract down and then they'll move somewhere else for free. And that's what's happened with Pogba. Whereas United paid big money for him from Juventus. He sort of stayed with us. That contract's going to run down, and then he's going to go for free for big money somewhere else.
Yeah,
So whoever
Fabrizio's
splashes the
tweet,
cash for
Alex.
Haaland, he might sign, and then he might have the 3, 4, 5 years there, but then he's probably going to move for free to one, maybe one of the, Madrid or somewhere like that. And the landscape's going to look a bit different in a few years' time, because at the moment, it don't look good in Spain financially, at least for the next season or two. So some club could be taken for a ride, if that makes sense. And you might have to let him go for free. If Chelsea sign Haaland for that big money, you might be going for nothing at the end of that contract.
Yeah. If Chelsea sign, Jen was right. They will make profit on that, but in terms of transfer fee, that's the thing with Haaland. He's too big in a sense that you can't. Like, it's almost too big to sign. I get where you're coming from, Ron. Like, you kind of do need to wait until his contract runs down. Let's check back in with Nefer. Every players in Spain League are re-registered for new season. Don't make it fake news. Every player has to re-register. That's a squad registration. It does it every transfer window in the world.
Here's the thing, Alice. I just asked her to give us your sources. Like, just tell us where you get your sources. He hasn't even replied the sources.
Well, Nefer said, aren't Spanish teams supposed to re-register every players every season? They are, but so is every team. Like, otherwise, no one can make a January transfer.
Yeah,
Because it's just that's your windows. Also, where are you, Nefer? Where are you going with this? Because he also said that Haaland is a phone call from Barca president. Okay,
my goodness.
I don't think he is. Maybe he is. To be fair, I think
It's-
Haaland's probably a phone call away from me. He's a millionaire.
I think Nafa and Josh Thompson are the same person. I think they're
No,
the same.
no, because I think Josh is quite evidently. I'm not sure. I think Nefer actually believes it.
I don't know what happened to Josh. He hasn't been here recently. He's gone somewhere. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, Daniel says Haaland isn't leaving Chelsea for a free. Haaland will have a release clause in his next contract. Potentially, yeah, but even then, what if the release clause is like 200 million, and you're a summer away and he won't sign? So let Barca just go. Actually, we'll wait until the next year.
And
So-
we got Winter Surfer in the chat.
I'm a phone call away from Danny Ings. Anyone in the world is a phone call away. That is a very strong point, to be fair. I'm a phone call away from the Barca president. It's a very good point.
I'm a phone call away for becoming new Arsenal's manager.
I'm a phone call away from Boris Johnson. I just haven't got his number. This is hang on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if like there's West Ham fans in who want to like talk about their players. This is just becoming about Haaland and Nefer. This is funnier. That's Nefer. That's teams that are within legal mainframe, not teams that are in the breach of new FA laws, which Barca are in their breach. Yeah, in fact, we'll clear up for anyone who's not understanding completely. In Spain, they have a wage cap on each team. So in Chelsea, Chelsea could give Haaland £3 billion a year and they'll be fine. But in La Liga, they tried to curb spending a bit to keep things not fairer per se, but not out of hand because a lot of clubs aren't too well run out there. So Barcelona, their wage cap has carried on going down. The last season it was 300 million euros. That's why things are a bit tetchy. And the Liga president, Javier Tebas, he said this summer, Barca's wage cap is 160 million euros. And for context, Lionel Messi's yearly salary was 125 million on its own. So that's halved. It's down to 70 million, but it means the rest of the Barca squad can't go more than 90 million a year. So in terms of numbers, basically, Barca need to sell before they can sign anyone. Nafa said, when Barca president promised something, he always deliver.
Oh my days.
But Barcelona either need to sell or they need to get creative with their accounting, because I don't know if any of you guys remember how rugby league and rugby union teams used to get around salary caps.
No, enlighten us.
Where the player, for example, pay a minimum wage, and then you hire like the player's wife to work for the club in some administrative capacity, and you pay them the big money. And that kind of got round the salary caps. But then, the authorities kind of got wise to it and they had to stop that. But that was the classic move where you get somebody in the family and you pay them the bulk of the salary, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think it's in fairness, I think Barcelona did try to do that with Neymar. They paid his dad like 60 million, and then that got their old president sacked.
Actually, let me ask Nafa a question. Nafa, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. First, where do you get your sources from? Second, if you're saying you're not broke, why are you signing free transfers? And third, can you tell me where you're from? I'm very interested.
He said he's from Barcelona, and he said
Go on.
everyone will re-register. If Barca have a problem, they won't register unimportant players. But, no, it's the issue. If your players already, like, you're trying to sell your unimportant players. It's not as if Barcelona, like, they've got their squad and they just can't add Depay, etc. to it. It's their squad is already too big. Like, and it's more that it's not as if Barcelona can say, okay, we'll unregister Sergio Roberto. That way we can register Depay. Those two, Sergio Roberto wages are here. Memphis Depay wages are up here. Like, it's not quite how it's gonna work there. What's Daniel saying about? Go on, God.
Sell Frankie De Jong, sell Pedro, you're fine.
That would be a good idea.
If you not actually get Frankie De Jong, I'm saying that.
Frankie De Jong a club should go in for Frankie De Jong and just test Barcelona. Daniel also says, question, aren't Barcelona in 1.2 million of debt? The answer is yes, they are. The Beautiful Gamer said, where's Blatter and Patini when you need them? Absolutely. And Nafra said, whose neck will be on the line if Depay starts next season? Well, no, we're not saying that Depay won't start next season, but we're saying you can't, like, currently you cannot play him. Like, you need to cut players. Like, potentially you will start Depay if Griezmann goes and if Frankie De Jong goes. That's your issue.
Still at the club?
Huh?
Is Braithwaite still at Barca or is he gone?
Yeah, no, I think he's still at Barca. Also, let's not forget they've got a former player suing them in Mateus Fernandes. Because here's a fun fact. So yeah, Barcelona. Another thing, like, just to clarify, this is why Barcelona can't sign Haaland. They told their player Mateus Fernandes, a player bought last year.
Was it a Brazilian guy, isn't it?
Yeah, they told him by email, you're back. You're like, we're terminating your contract 3 years early, and obviously Fernandes has gone, well, fuck you, I'm going to sue you because that's unlawful dismissal. So Barcelona are also dealing with a lawsuit. Real Madrid, as Daniel's kind of pointed out, Real Madrid aren't much better. They're 344 million in debt. A lot of Madrid fans think they're going to get Mbappe. I mean, only if Mbappe goes on a free next year. They're not exactly doing much better. So, yeah.
Madrid also seems to have an issue with non-EU players because of Brexit. Bale's now classed as a non-EU player.
Yes.
So something similar might be happening with Trippier at Atletico, where all of a sudden, they're outside the EU now, technically. So
yeah, that's a very good point. That's why I think Real Madrid, they need to get rid of because they've got Eder Militao, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Bale, and I think they need to get rid of one of them because they can't. I'm not sure if they can't register them or if they can't have them in the same matchday squad. I can't quite remember which one it is.
In the matchday, I'm not 100%, but it might be that matchday squad, like in the old days in the Champions League, where you could only have like 3 non-UK players, if that makes sense. And
yeah,
detriment, Welsh and Scottish players and Irish players were classed as separate. Yeah.
Nefers asked the question: cut players is rule for every club. Every club is restricted to add only 24 to 28 players per season. How's it different? Because you've got a wage cap. Like you can put in 24, 20. You can put in 50 players if you really want to, but you can't. You've got a salary cap. Like you can't. That's your issue. You can't afford to put in Messi, Depay at the moment. So going back to the crux of your original comment, there is no single way that Barcelona can get Erling Haaland this summer, and a very small chance you get him next summer. So
I think something's been lost in translation, mate, because you've articulated it really well, and I don't think he's the penny's not dropping with that guy.
Bless him.
Let him dream, man. Let him dream. He'll probably just wake up tomorrow, next season. Oh, I'd like to apologise.
Oh no, I want to keep bullying him. It's fun. No, I'm joking. If you should, I'm sorry, Nafa. If it's getting too much, you can let us know. But at the moment, you're quite
You
funny.
said, oh my days.
Wait, what? Salary cap is unlimited. Okay, Nuffer. Okay. I don't think. Maybe you should if you've got YouTube Premium, you should minimize this video. You should go onto your Google tab and type in, does La Liga have a salary cap? And in fact, the answer will be yes. So,
Nafer, can you please tell us your sources, please? Like,
yes.
I'm
So
interested.
we derailed massively just because it was quite funny. Yeah, Haaland, Chelsea, whatever, I don't know. You've made me lose track, Nafer, now.
Is that guy
What?
class ref in disguise?
Sorry?
Is he class ref in disguise?
maybe.
You know what? We should do a tiering list of the transfers so far, if there's any.
What, a tier list of the transfer / rumors?
Yeah, I'll see if there is any. I'll double check.
Oh, that would be a good stream to do. Ranking the transfers that have been done. Football Daily have probably just done it, which will be for Nafa says, your argument is Barcelona cannot afford, no La Liga governing body stops the salary. There is a La Liga governing body. Sorry, no, you know what? I don't care if it's derailing. We've got 24 people there enjoying it. We're going to go, let's share screen. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's not the tier list.
Yeah. So I'm just going to share the screen. What is Barcelona salary cap? Are you reading the fur? Barcelona, as the Athletic has explained, are reportedly set to have a limit of around £138 million, 168 million euros, or wages and transfers spending for the coming season. Real Madrid's limit could be a little more palatable, around 255 million. Have you got it, Nafer? You're fucked.
I think Nafer's argument is going to be like, oh no, that's Google search. You need to use Yahoo search.
Oh, if he does, I'll just accept it's a troll. Yeah, I'll probably end the stream soon. So we should just have final thoughts then in the comments. And guys, who's had the best transfer window so far in the Premier League? Also, your favourite arrival. My favourite arrival so far is maybe potentially. I'm thinking Patson Daka. On excitement, on quality, it's Varane. Or Sancho as well.
Oh.
Ron, we'll go to you first.
Well, it's hard, being a United fan, it's hard to look past what we've signed, if that makes sense. Really looking forward to seeing how Sancho does. We've needed a presence on the right wing for a long time, man. I felt really sorry for Wan-Bissaka because he's got nobody in front of him to kind of form a partnership or relationship with. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to kind of work on the right-hand side, because I don't think he'll have to be as offensive as he gets criticised for. He can just concentrate on defending and just pass the ball to Sancho like Gary Neville just used to pass the ball to Beckham and stuff like that, if that makes sense. So I think he can kind of put his feet up a bit. And Varane, it'll be interesting. I'm expecting big things with him and Maguire. So yeah, fingers crossed. See how that works. Hopefully, Maguire's not planning any holidays to Greece from now until the start of the season.
Fair enough. Val, someone said something in the comments I want to go into, but first I want to ask you your favourite. Who's had the best transfer window so far, and your favourite arrival?
I'd like to say, I suppose not. For biasness, I say my favourite is Konate because I feel like with him you get a. No, I'm joking. I think Varane to United. I think Varane to United is a quality signing, easily top 5 centre backs in the world. Yeah, with him partner with Maguire at different. It's because it's all about centre back partnerships. You got Maguire, who's good in the air, very physical. Varane is good in the air, but he's got pace and can carry the ball up. So you're getting good defense and. With especially Luke Shaw, if Luke Shaw can continue the season he had last year, and then United could arguably have the best defense in the league. That's strategy if Van Dijk doesn't get back to his best. And I feel like the best team with the best transfer team, I think Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace had a great window.
Yeah, I think they're good quality, even though I hate them and I think they should get relegated. I despise Crystal Palace. I hate their fans.
What did they do to you?
I just say I know some Crystal Palace fans. So
fair enough. Beautiful Game said, I could lose Pogba, though. What's wrong with that? Like, I'm sorry, but Pogba last season played at left wing, cam, and CDM. Like, he's clearly not fitting into that team. If they sell Pogba and get an Ndidi in, it's brilliant. If they lose Pogba, I don't really see how he damages the team that much.
And they're linked with Sao Niguez as well. Replace
Yeah, that'd
Pogba
be fun as well.
you're
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I want to go in on where's it gone? Melvin's literally the first comment: Arsenal or Arsenal. Melvin, please tell me you were joking. Arsenal they're not even in the top 3 best windows of this Premier League.
Oh yeah, by the way, did you see Nafer's comment above that?
He said that's La Liga salary, whatever he's done. Yeah, Melvin, are you joking or is this a real comment?
I think with Arsenal, yeah, so the priorities they needed was a backup left back for Tierney. They needed a player to replace Xhaka, and that looks like there's no point because Xhaka's going to sign a contract. You still haven't got a right back because Bellerin is shit. I like Cedric, but you just don't play him. And Chambers Arsenal fans overhype him. He's such an average footballer. He is not a good right back.
They haven't got a number 10 yet. That's up in the air.
Yeah, they haven't got number 10. They haven't got.
They've got Lokonga, which is okay. He could be good in the future.
Signing.
Yeah. Ben White, he's all right.
Yeah,
it's just all right.
Yeah, it's all right. In terms of wings, they got Saka, Martinelli, Pepe. I don't know if they're keeping Reece Nelson, but even though Reece Nelson is not good, and you need a new striker. Lacazette's not good enough. Aubameyang's past it. He is not good anymore. You should have sold Aubameyang, get a new striker in, and you haven't done that. So Arsenal, they're not done it. There's a case for Tottenham having much better window than you because they're getting a young, talented player who's proven, and they're getting, like you said, the centre back who's named best centre back in Syria.
Yeah, Romero, Christian Romero. Well, it's not confirmed, but it looks likely.
Yeah, it's not confirmed, but for a guy who's going to be playing in the back 3, which Nuno plays a lot with Wolves, yeah, they have a good signing.
So I'd like to just address Andrew's comment because I think it's a fair one actually. I'm the only one who thinks Sancho will struggle this season. You have good games where he dazzles, but I think overall low-key flop. I don't think it'll be a flop.
I won't think he'll be a flop, but he won't.
He won't be amazing yet.
Yeah, a reason I think he will struggle a bit because first of all, Ole, because I don't rate him as a manager, and second, it's just if you actually watch Dortmund and he was playing on that right hand side, he would do overlapping runs with Hakimi a lot, and with United, you got Wan-Bissaka.
Who is not? Bissaka's good. I don't. He's not a Hakimi, but he's still good enough.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to do that. What Sancho used to do with Hakimi.
But Dortmund didn't have Hakimi last season. He was still great.
Yeah, no. But he was playing left wing, sometimes.
I think Wan-Bissaka's underrated. And I still think they'll be fine. So
I think if they get Trippier, because I think Trippier's a better right back than Wan-Bissaka, and I feel like him.
I think he's a better attacker.
Yeah, Trippier and Sancho. I think they'll be a deadly duo if they manage to get him. But I feel in this current system, especially, I actually don't know, because
I think Trippier's got a sweeter right foot than Wan-Bissaka. His set piece delivery, his crossing, it is better, but Trippier is a more mature player, if that makes sense. Wan-Bissaka, he's a young guy. We bought him from Crystal Palace. He's still kind of learning the game, if that makes sense. I mean, Luke Shaw, we signed him in 2014. And it took till 2021 to get the best out of him. So that's 7 years later. So we need to give Wan-Bissaka a bit more time. In regards to Sancho, I mean, we've got Cavani up front. So, play to his strengths, beat a man, get that cross in, and try and get Cavani on the end of it, or Rashford or Martial running in, get him on the end of the crosses. We'll have to wait and see how it kind of pans out.
Cavani's availability, because he's not going to be playing every game. See, I think I will see you'll probably see Mason Greenwood up top, and sometimes Cavani. I think Cavani for more big games because he's a game changer. And Greenwood for
interesting because a lot of the players that are in the UK they don't look after themselves as they should necessarily as athletes, if that makes sense. And I think Cavani, if he stays fit, he'll be kind of playing.
Maybe. D'Angelo said Jadon will not struggle. He's one of the most technical players in the world. Technical will fail. Premier League space on flexing. I agree. Angelo. I think he will. I think he's. I think even short term, I think he's going to be one of the Premier League's best players. It's just every new signing takes a bedding in period. You get very few Mohamed Salahs who set off like a rocket.
It's that transition, just getting used to your teammates. Do you want it near post? Do you want it far post? Do you want it? You know, it's just getting that understanding, and it takes a bit of time.
Syncing up.
And isn't it? I think in the start of the season for United, I think they're going to struggle a bit because I've heard Luke Shaw, Tellez is out. Who else?
Rashford out.
We will struggle because we've not had much of a pre-season, and I don't think our coaches or managers can. I think there's a bit of a disconnect between them and the players, like what they want the players to do, but we're not getting any time to drill it in training, and it's just kind of, all right, lads, go play this formation, go play this way, and it's like we need, like playing out from the back. That's fine, but you need to practice it, you need to drill it, and a lot of the time it's like they've just been told do this. And like they're kind of a bit ponderous and a bit static.
United got the new coach and the defensive coach and set piece coach, so that'll be good for
I mean, set piece
Chelsea under 23s.
We can improve on without spending any money on players or personnel. It's just come on, just focus. Even somebody like Big Sam, man, he knows how to defend set pieces and stuff like that. And it's kind of like we should be able to improve on that.
Here's the final comment, final thing I want to bring up. Question: if Chelsea do sign Haaland, do you think they would have had the best window?
No.
Maybe. If as Chelsea don't really need much surgery, and their squad is already very, very good. It's just more about trimming the fat for them. But
would you say their squad is good enough for 38 games in the Premier League? Because we saw like back end of last season they were very inconsistent in the Premier League, like in terms of especially against low blocks, like. They weren't creating clear-cut chances.
You got to think that was Tuchel without any like coaching or training. So you got like go man by man. In goal, you've got Mendy or Kepa, who Kepa has still got talent. He's just had his confidence destroyed. Right wing back, right back, you've got Reece James and Azpilicueta, or right wing back Hudson-Odoi. Centre backs, you've potentially got Koundé, Christensen, Thiago Silva, Rudiger. That's fine.
Malang Sarr still there.
Malang Sarr will go back out on loan. You've got Ampadu coming back. So it's 5 or 6. Left wing back, you've got Chilwell and then one of Emerson or Marcus Alonso, which is fine. Midfield, you've got Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho and Kante. That's like one of the best midfielders in the world. And then the front lineup, you've got Mount, Havertz, Werner, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic. The only thing they are really missing is striking depth because now Giroud's gone and Abraham looks like he's
winger as well because they're in terms of the wingers they're injury prone. Like Pulisic is injury prone.
I don't know. I think their wingers are fine. I think Pulisic's injury prone, but I think they've got enough to mask him. But what do they say? Forget Koundé and Haaland. What are you laughing at?
Oh my days, not fair, man. He kills me, man.
Oh, I think
I
realised he was Nefer.
I think he wants to sign. Don't tell me you want Koundé as well.
Yeah, if he does, he knows he's a troll.
I mean, it's understandable because Langley is shit.
Longley's actually pretty good. He's stats-wise, he shows up quite well. He's above average.
So Verovic put him in the spliff in the Euros. My Swiss striker right there.
All of this Chelsea talk, like Daniel was saying, Haaland can now be a good window, but it doesn't matter because Chelsea are not going to get Haaland, and you heard it here first. Well, not first because
they need a DM as well, Chelsea.
They don't need one, but it would be helpful. It would help Tuchel do a bit more. But
because I know Kante can play and Jorginho can play as a DM, but I feel like they're much better as like Kante's much better as a box to box.
Yeah. A DM would be helpful, but I don't think it's a necessity. Like they're getting away without one. But
can you go to Andrew Murphy's comment? I just want to kill that comment straight away.
And Andrew Murphy. Oh, Andrew. Liverpool defenders are injury prone.
First of all, one major injury doesn't make you injury prone. Second of all, definition of injury prone is when you're having recurring injuries over and over again. Konate had one major injury, which is a muscle fiber tear. He got rushed back too early, got the same injury. Then he had like a small injury, just ruled him out for like I don't know how many games. But in the whole 2021, he was literally majority of fit, but he wasn't playing. He was just at the bench. So yeah,
Bells, can I ask
when
you a
you
quick question about Nat Phillips? Because I was quite impressed with him last season. Do you think Liverpool should keep him or maybe move him on? If I was Spurs or somebody like that, I'd be trying to sign that kid.
Nat Phillips, I think what he did last season, he was excellent. Him, Kabak, along with Reece Williams, I thought they did a terrific job, given the circumstances that they're playing in a system that is not suitable to them because they're not pacey centre backs as Van Dijk and Gomez. But like it was Nat Phillips' first season in the Premier League, came back
Yeah.
from playing in the Bundesliga too, and yeah, he did a terrific job. Like his aerial ability is insane.
I'm not
You
saying
head
like
anything.
he's Maldini or anything like that, but player in the squad, it was like this guy's a solid
Yeah,
player, man.
he's
You know what
good.
I mean? If somebody's injured, it's like you could do a job.
Liverpool defenders are injury prone in terms of Joe Gomez, like
Yeah,
injury,
Gomez is injury prone. Yeah,
and
Gomez and
and Joel Matip.
yeah, but Van Dijk, Konate, they're not really injury prone. And we got Nat Phillips as well, who is very good.
And Tsimikas, he had three separate injuries last year.
Yeah. I think one of them was COVID because he had COVID when he came in, and then two of them were like earlier, but like 2021, and he was like fine. And yeah, so I feel like keep Nat Phillips because say Joe Matip gets injured in preseason, which is highly likely because he is very injury prone. I will keep Nat Phillips. Like you could possibly see a Nat Phillips and Konate partnership at the beginning of the season because Van Dijk, he's already he's only played 15 minutes yesterday. Gomez, he looked more sharp than Van Dijk, but he's not ready yet. So the only centre backs we have that are available are Davies, Phillips, Matip, and Konate. Matip, he's due an injury, so probably see Phillips and Konate at the beginning of the season, which I won't be mad because I feel like it's similar to the Maguire and Varane, both centre backs, similar qualities, but they're not. Our centre backs are not better than yours. Like Phillips is not better than Maguire, Konate is not better than Varane, but they have similar abilities. So do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and it's
I
more
guess.
about what you do as a unit.
yeah.
I think my final point would be I just don't think you can consider Joe Gomez a footballer anymore. He doesn't play football. He's just permanently like injured.
I know. I think he plays more games than Matip. Matip is not a footballer.
Are you trying to say that Gomez is Liverpool's Phil Jones?
No, I'm trying to say Joe Gomez is Liverpool's Owen Hargreaves.
Nah, man. Gomez is a good centre back. Like,
how do we know? Who knows?
bro, like in the season when we won the Champions League, he was balling out in the Premier League. Like we were keeping clean sheets for fun.
I'm gonna get stats up.
Yeah. Okay. Look, get the partnership with Van Dijk and Gomez, bro. It's a good.
No, I'm getting the stats up.
Yeah.
Okay, so since the 2015-16 Premier League season.
Okay, we're not good. Okay, that's the worst season. No.
No, since okay. Since in the Premier League, Gomez has played. I'm counting it up. 35. 35. I'm doing my maths here. 51. 74. 70. Oh my god, he didn't even play in 16, 17. My god, 64. He's played 69 games in 5 seasons, 5 Premier League seasons. So that's 69 games out of a potential Echo. What's 5 times 38?
5 times 38 is 190.
So that's about a third of available minutes for Joe Gomez.
I mean that season he wasn't playing like majority of centre back. Like he was.
I don't care where he played. He just didn't play at all. Of course, he didn't play majority at centre back because most of the time he didn't play at all.
No. But if you watch him with Van Dijk, those two were good. One, I think the most consistent.
Well, yeah. If you watch him with Van Dijk, he was probably good, and you could probably watch it inside 15 minutes of his highlights because there's so little time of it.
Check the 1920. How many seasons he played at the season we won the Premier League?
Mount played more than that this season. That's probably true.
Of course, Mount plays that. He's a Chelsea boy, man.
Yeah, because he doesn't get injured.
Yeah, and Mount is shit as well. He's a shit player, so he plays for.
Well, he's not, is he?
No, he is shit.
I mean, we can't say the same about Joe Gomez because we don't know if he's a shit player. We don't know what he is.
This is good, man.
We don't know.
Okay, get on Matip, man. Get on Matip. Matip is worse.
No, I'm sticking on Joe Gomez because it's
Why?
funny.
Why? Why
Because
not?
it's funny. He's playing no football.
Why not Matip?
Oh, because Matip's dusted. And also Joe Gomez, he's 24 and he's just played. Wait, how many career appearances has this guy made? He's played. All right, he's 24 years old, and Joe Gomez has made 24 and he's made 80 Premier League appearances. Dele Alli made more by the time he was 20.
Hey, Dele Alli is different. He plays for Spurs. Man.
I'm going to end it there on that note. All right.
I mean, he played majority in the 1920. I think that's his.
Hush, stop talking.
I'm getting Matip's one. No, we're getting Matip's. That's fine.
And that is the end of the show, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Wait, Val, I'll give you one chance.
What I'm saying is, Matip hasn't played 3 games in a row.
So just, would you say that Joe Gomez is a good defender?
Yes, he's a good
VIP, stay low key. Like bando, bitch, oh please, yeah. Brand new whip, no keys, yeah. Get down on knees, yeah, yeah. Can't step to me.